Recently, I came across this sponsorship email. I keep getting a lot of these where they try to do phishing and make you install some software and get your credentials. But this one is very interesting. They have done a lot of work to do phishing. I wanted to share it with you guys. This one is coming from Edward from Designer. They're using a genuine looking email. There is a site called designer.com, but they used a blog here, and basically they are just reaching out asking if I can get some sponsorship on this. Once you agree on the terms, it feels very professional. After that, they send you a description of what the brief is, and then they send you this link to get registered, which is the most interesting part. So if I go to this thing, it is called the Catos. I don't know how it's pronounced, but this is what it is. And then you just have to basically join this, and they will push you to this because you need to join this, and then only they'll be able to make the payment. And they also say that it's upfront, complete 100% payment. So it's quite interesting here. And the most interesting part is once you join as a creator and you try to give your YouTube link or something. So for example, so if I give my link here, then it asks you to confirm and continue, which I would do again. This feels very genuine. If they ask you for an email and password, then you'll be very skeptic about it. Why should I give my password? But when you see continue with Google or continue with sign up, you're very confident because this is happening through sign in. I would click on this and you would see that there's a pop-up, and this looks like how a Gmail screen looks. And the link here is what a Gmail or a Google would have. Everything looks perfect, but one thing you'll wonder is why I don't have those auto sign-ins where I can just tap and sign in. So that is the first trigger. And then the other thing is, why is this a pop-up within this website? So generally these come as a separate browser window. So this is something fishy, but someone who doesn't notice all this would just enter the email and password. And even if you're like slightly skeptic about it, you would go ahead and try some email and password to just try it out, which is what I did. I went ahead and I gave my credentials and I gave a wrong password, and it was perfectly able to identify that this is not a right email. For example, if I enter something like an invalid email and say next, it is able to identify that this account doesn't exist, which generally a phishing site can't do, because what it generally does is it just accepts your email and your password and it stores into some log file or something. But here it is very well able to identify if it's a wrong email, if it doesn't exist. Same like how Gmail does it. And then even if I enter like a real email here, this one is a real email, and if I say next, so as you can see, this was a valid email ID and it was able to recognize that this is a valid email ID, and now it will send you to the password screen, which is very genius, I would say. Yeah, the only issue I saw here is the speed, which would let off that this is something fishy in it. As you can see, now it went to the next screen, and if I enter a wrong password here, it is very well able to identify that this is a wrong password, and it will immediately throw that this is a wrong password. So yeah, your next question would be, how is this possible? So that is when I try to investigate this a bit. So right now you can see that it's saying a wrong password because it is a wrong password. So what I did was I went into the inspect section of this, and then I did some digging here. After I did some digging, I found this is a separate app running within this website, an iFrames. This one is a link here, again Netlify. If I go to this link, you can see that this is a separate app they have built and try to embed it inside this as a pop-up on an iFrame. That is why you're able to see this one load here as a separate thing. They're trying to fake things like it is opening on a separate modal. Where they didn't work out well is the rounded corners and the speed of it. Probably if they would have hosted it on a faster thing, it would have been much faster. So as you can see, this is a link right, netlify.app, and this is the particular HTML that they have built, which is exactly the replica of what a Google sign-in would look like. It has each and every detail here. It has this language selector and it has the help. It is like a 100% replica of what Google has, but it is quite slow. But this is what is opening as an iframe right here. You can see that it is put as a modal body here, and they have put the iframe here. And the link on the top is a separate thing. So if you see the link right here, it is a static link that they have just placed it. It's not the link that is loading below. Again, trying to fake that this is what is happening. And after digging slightly more, this is something called as AiTM, which is adversary in the middle phishing. So basically, they are trying to capture your data here, send it to an actual Gmail page where they can log in. So as soon as I enter a email, it would open a Gmail page on the backend there. They would use a browser there, enter the details. This is all happening automatically, but this data is entered there, and whatever message they get there is reflected back here. And that is why you see that it is so slow. It is capturing the data here, sending it there, trying it on a real page and getting back the data. So if an email is valid, it will take you to the next page. And again, the password is asked, it will capture the password, send it to that exact browser session there, enter the password there, and it'll try. If it says it's wrong, it'll return back this error message. So it's capturing everything. It's trying to be a middleman, trying to do the phishing and capture the data. Once you enter the actual credentials, it's going to say it's logged in and your account is created. Basically, your credentials are compromised and they have your email and password and access to a session where you're logged in. Your YouTube channel would get compromised and they will get full access of your YouTube. I just wanted to share this quick investigation that I have done and how they managed to make this look so genuine. So yeah, stay aware with AI. I think they are able to replicate everything and make such really amazing phishing sites. So yeah, stay aware of all these sites and especially this one. If you happen to get some sponsorship from them, beware of it. And as usual, thanks for watching and I'll catch you another one.